you're listening.
I just don't care.
Look, if you're 300 pounds, then you are a monster, and I don't want you to talk.
Welcome back to This Is a Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here today to introduce your host, David Two Doggz Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier wrestling pay-per-view podcast. This is a work. With me, as always, is my partner, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. How are you, sir?
Yeah.
All right.
Bringing the excitement.
Yeah, bringing the thunder, man. Okay, so we watched the Elimination Chamber 2021 Sunday. Yeah. Honestly, it was, I was just telling them earlier, it was a good pay-per-view if you are a casual fan and don't keep up with the storyline. You probably enjoyed yourself. If you're watching for the story, you're probably very confused right now. I don't see how, in the name of God, they're going to get this road to WrestleMania. Yeah, it's any thoughts, Barnes?
Why is there another pay-per-view between now and WrestleMania?
Because fuck you. Give me money. That's see, they had it. All they had to do was just do the Elimination Chamber. Take your time, plan it out, and then just set it up, and it's gonna ride its way down. Just run Raw and Smackdown, and we're gonna have some nice story along the way, and we're gonna set this thing up for a 2-day WrestleMania. Don't get me started on how I feel about that. But so I don't know how they're gonna do it. All that being said, not the worst pay-per-view.
No.
But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Opening things up on the pre-show, we have a fatal four-way, which is always a good time. Now, this match is going to determine who is going to be in the triple threat match later on for the United States Championship.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, they just made this up as probably minutes before the show. So we have Ricochet and Mustafa, and I'm not gonna say it. Elias and John Morrison.
Okay. Because
those are our contenders for the U.S. title because so they go out. This is the match itself. It was fine. There's really nothing to say about this. Morrison goes over and everybody's like, what?
Well, yeah, especially because it was just almost a random surprise because it looked like the battle was between Mustafa and Ricochet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like they were having an awesome back and forth, and that's where the drama was building, and then just Morrison's surprise rolls up, I think, Mustafa, and just gets, or either him or Ricochet, and gets the pin.
But wouldn't it have been nice if Ali would have got the win?
Yes.
And we actually did something with Retribution.
Yes. I feel like everybody but the people in charge think that.
Yeah. Everybody in Retribution are damn fine wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And like Shane Thorne, Dominic Dijakovic, Mia Yim, Mustafa, I'm never going to get that right.
It was a surprise, and it's been an adjustment.
Yeah, and I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? T-Bar, Slapjack.
There's T-Bar, there's Slapjack in there. Well, they disappeared the woman.
Yeah, that was Mia Yim.
That was.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Well, she did. Did she not actually officially have a name at that?
No, she was Reckoning.
Reckoning. Okay.
Mace.
Mace, right?
Who was Mace? I don't remember who Mace was. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. He lost anyway. Who cares? Yeah, it would have been nice to see that, and then we could have actually done something with Retribution and pushed them on towards WrestleMania. But what are you going to do? John Morrison goes over after he's been acting like a 12-year-old for the past 12 weeks. So yeah, he's going for the Universal title.
What had he been doing? And it was the United States.
A United States title. He's been hanging out with Miz, feuding with Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, that was.
And they're just being
that factors in later.
Silly. It's just, two people that you don't take seriously anymore.
No, they really hadn't been primed for anything like a championship spot of any sort.
Yeah,
just because they had been, they had the feud with Braun,
and who beat them both
at the same time. Yes, and it was fun stuff. The whole thing was a fun little goof,
right?
And then we all moved on from that, and they really just hadn't been doing much. They'd been kind of in a holding pattern.
Yeah. So, Ricochet looked great.
Which kind of lends credence to the idea that this was all very much day of, because it's like they had used them to, like you said, get heat with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
They had been in backstage segments setting like they're going to go after him.
Yeah. Ali also looked great.
Yeah, he did.
Elias was there.
He was.
They don't give a damn about him anymore, do they? They really don't. They tried to tag him up with Riker, and
which one's Riker?
He was originally one of the Forgotten Sons.
Oh, right.
And and they tried to tag him up with him. And
one of them got extra forgotten for reasons.
Yeah. And it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So they've already forgotten about everybody. But yeah, so John Morrison goes over and will be going to the United States Championship triple threat match later on this evening.
Which just confuses me because like we've been talking about, it's like considering how they've been using him for the past while, it's like you don't think he really is going to win.
No.
I don't think he's
No. No. And who would think that John Morrison or The Miz in this capacity would win anything tonight?
Yeah.
Perish that thought. I gave this match a 2.
Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty good match for what it was.
Yeah, it was fine. As just there was. We could have done this on Raw.
I'm fighting, and I'm gonna keep fighting through this whole podcast to avoid using the word serviceable.
Serviceable. That's.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's very accurate.
I know, right? Jeez. I hate thinking that and wanting to say I enjoyed this, and I kind of did.
Well, let's talk about a match that was a little more than serviceable.
Okay.
Let's move on into the actual pay-per-view, where we start things off with the Smackdown Elimination Chamber match.
Yes.
Something I was listening to a podcast earlier this week, and I noted somebody mentioned something that I wasn't aware of. Everybody in the Elimination Chamber for this match is a former Ring of Honor veteran.
Really?
Which kind of makes sense why I enjoyed this particular chamber more than I did the main event.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it. So we have Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, who I don't think was in Ring of Honor, but
Well, then why'd you feed me those lies earlier?
well, I'm sorry. Kevin Owens, King Baron Corbin, and El Generico himself,
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. In my opinion, he is a strong candidate for MVP of this evening.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that later. This might have been my favorite Elimination Chamber that I've seen
In a while.
in a long time.
Yeah.
These guys, they knew what they were doing, and they just went out and did it.
They really did.
Couple of memorable spots. First of all, Sami Zayn and being mic'd up in the inside his pod was nothing short of comedy gold.
Absolutely.
Getting mad because they sent his camera crew
Immediately
away.
ejected his camera crew.
When it finally comes time for his pod to open, he's given the business to Jey Uso
Yeah.
and Corbin. When his pod opened from the other side, and Cesaro comes in, he gets a "what the hell" out. And Cesaro begins beating his head against the pod.
The other best part was when Kevin Owens corners him, and he immediately is like, "We're friends, we're buddies, we don't need to fight. We'll take them on." And he's trying to talk him into it.
Yeah.
And Kevin just goes, "You talk too much," which I feel I saw the clip on Twitter afterward. I feel like it's a shout out to Botchamania.
Yeah.
He goes, "You talk too much." And Sammy, you hear Sammy go, "Oh my God, what the hell?"
Oh my God.
"Oh my God, what the hell are you?" And then bam, his head is rammed into the pod.
Sammy's great.
It's so
great. He is the chicken shit heel that you need in your life.
Yep.
You love to hate him. He's just annoying as all hell, and I am here for every stinking bit out of it. Man. So him and Cesaro had a spot where he got tossed up to on top of the pod.
Yes.
Cesaro starts climbing out up after him. They kind of go out onto the ledge and kind of move sideways onto the chamber to where they're hanging on to the chains. You tell it.
Is this the airplane into the? Is this the semi-airplane in?
It's coming. He knocks him off. Cesaro, being the quintessential performer that he is, after he knocks off Sammy, decides to grab the top of the Elimination Chamber and just do a few chin-ups.
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
for
right.
good measure.
Yes, he was just at the top of the chamber doing pull-ups.
Why doesn't he have? Why is he not the franchise of this company? Man, I mean, they're really missing the boat, dude.
He could be, especially after all the things that's happened to him. Then he's actually. I mean, the best worst example is one of the most recent, where he accidentally drove his front teeth into his gums.
Right.
Kept going, finished the match.
Yeah. I mean, the man's tough. He's strong as an ox. He's funny.
Yes.
He's great at what he does. And here's a key point. Everybody in the locker room likes him and respects him. Mm-hmm. And, that's huge. That is huge, man.
But the people in charge just don't see something in him.
No. They it's a damn shame.
It is. It really is.
So Corbin is actually the first person to go. Let me move my notes over here so I can see what the hell I'm talking about.
The only thing I'll say is something that someone else commented on, and I know I've said before too. It's just great he's wearing ring gear again.
It is. He's actually got some Renaissance fair gear.
Yeah.
That he wore to the ring.
And I know I said during the pay-per-view, how many people actually remember the reason he's got the King gimmick is he won King of the Ring?
Yeah.
Whenever it was. Mm-hmm. It's been over a year now.
It has. Yeah. Haven't done a King of the Ring since then.
He's just going to stop wearing it one day and no one's going to say anything.
No. No. It must be nice to be him because it's... how does he still have a job? But the people in the Forgotten Sons are out the door.
Yes.
Big Show...
The who now?
Is... Big Show has gone to another company now.
Yeah.
But Baron Corbin still has a job.
Yes.
He's got to be one of the most loved people on the planet. He's got to be amazing to hang out with.
I think it's hilarious that Big Show's pulling a Macho Man where they tried to put him out to pasture. And he's like, hell no.
Right.
I wrote a casket for you people.
Right. We were just talking about that before the podcast. So Sami is our next one gone. He gets pinned by Kevin Owens. So we think Kevin Owens, and now we've got Kevin Owens,
Jey Uso,
and Cesaro. And so we start thinking, oh my God, Cesaro's going to take this.
That's what it was looking like. It was like, oh.
And we got really, really excited for a second.
Our mistake.
Kevin Owens, boom. He gets pinned by Jey Uso from a top rope splash. Michael Cole. Michael, God, oh, I can't even talk. I'm so mad at him.
At this point, it's just second nature.
Everything is a frog splash with Michael Cole. Everything, just because his girl Sasha Banks does a very subpar frog splash. Now everything's a frog splash. He hit him with a body block. Must be a frog splash. That was a clothesline. Great frog splash. I hate him so much.
Flames flaming on the side of his face.
This is one of the reasons that anybody that's trying to follow the story would have been confused by this pay-per-view, because they did such a terrible job of explaining anything last night. And I hate to say it, Samoa Joe, who has been my guy for a while now on commentary, he's guilty too. He didn't help the situation. Anyway, I'll do 30 minutes on the damn commentary. It's
there are times when I feel like the commentary is too dumb, and then there's also times where it's like, hey, it'd be nice for someone for them to maybe drop a few hints as to why this is happening for someone who doesn't consume the 7 to 8 hours of wrestling a week that supposedly happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice if. But, everybody says, oh, well, he's got...
It's just like when two people who are involved in a feud in a match like that are hitting each other. It's like, oh, remember, Cesaro did blank and this happened in retaliation, blah, blah, blah.
And, the thing that everybody says, well, he's mic'd up and he's got Vince McMahon in his ear.
Everyone's got it.
Everybody's got Vince McMahon in their ear. That does not... Michael Cole was terrible when he started, and he has not. How long has he been here now?
I will say he's improved. He's not great, but he has improved.
A frog splash, Barnes.
I know, but okay, you can't just 100% excuse it when JR does it too.
Oh, I don't. I'll give JR shit too.
Yeah,
but JR
also recently called. Was it Moxley? He called him the WWE champ. No,
He did, yeah. Yeah, the WWE champion.
yeah.
But see, the thing, JR is also really, really old.
Yeah.
And he's been saying the WWE champion for 20 years now.
I know. It's just, I'm not saying Cole's totally exonerated, but I'm just saying it. I mean, you can't dwell on it. You can't dwell on it. Not unless you're making a separate.
I think we all know good and well that he can and will dwell on it.
Well, then what you're going to need to do in order to satisfy this is just make a separate space on your notes and just start tallying how many frog splashes he calls during a pay-per-view.
Oh, my God. You know, he did it the other night, too, when I was watching Raw. God, he's such a piece of garbage. He doesn't know the names of the wrestling. If you don't know the names of the wrestling moves, you can't be a commentator on professional wrestling. That's it. Now, maybe I'll give you a little bit of credit if it's a brand new movie. Whoa, what was that? I've never seen that before. Blah 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 blah. And then you got to learn it. Later.
I want that to happen and someone to lean in and go, "That's called a lariat."
A lariat type maneuver, you say? No, just a lariat.
No, it's a lariat.
So now we have.
Where were we?
Yeah,
Jay had eliminated Cesaro.
Yeah, all the frog splashes. He hits. He eliminates Cesaro. So now we're left with Uso and Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, because Kevin got eliminated as a surprise too. It was like you didn't. I was like, what?
Also with a frog splash. That's
really. So yeah, it came down to Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan.
So he goes up for another frog splash, and Bryan catches him. Mm-hmm. Has him and he tap out? No, he didn't tap out. He turned it into a pinfall.
I think so. Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan goes over after he has been in this match for a good 35 minutes.
Was he the starter? Was he one of the starters?
He was one of the starters. Yeah. Now, here we go. We've got his match is over. This is another time the commentary or the announcers would have been nice.
Yeah.
To say something right here. Or even have Paul Heyman come out and cut a quick promo. Just a quick. Don't have to cut anything long, just a quick one.
Because I didn't understand this until it happened. Like, the match was supposed to happen that night too?
Yeah.
Okay, so Roman decided to come out immediately after.
Yeah. It was very confused. There was no discussion on it. They just walked out and did it. It would have been nice if Paul had said, "Mr. Daniel Bryan, sir."
Congratulates him and says,
"Yeah,
congratulations on your match, which starts right now."
Right now. And
and then like the announcer's going to be congratulating. He's going to face Roman Reigns tonight. And then Roman Reigns is like, wait, it's happening now? Wait.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you could have the commentary going, "Oh my God." They'd put a little something into it. Like,
yeah.
That's, of all the dirty, and
plus kind of puts a bit of a but it kind of ruins a little bit of the last bit of the show when they kind of do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it does. Now, here's the thing. I gave this Elimination Chamber match a 4.5.
Yeah,
I thought it was a fantastic match.
Everyone in that match performed admirably.
Absolutely.
I'm still not quite sold on Jey Uso, the singles star, but
he
did
either.
Great in the match.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a good hand.
He is.
Now, this technically was a match that started, even though they gave us no indication. Mm-hmm. And I knew the story.
Only the end bell rang.
Yeah.
They didn't even ring the bell to start the
They
match.
didn't. He just comes out and he starts beating the shit out of him. Now, I'm going to give Roman some credit here.
You're on your own.
He had some fire last night. Well, Sunday night.
You only had to show up for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, 5 minutes.
This was the least I have ever hated Roman Reigns during a match.
Sure.
Ever.
Because he came out, said nothing, and was a monster.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny that you use you use the term monster. We were I was actually talking to David Hensley's wife Katie the other night, and we were talking about Roman Reigns, and we got distracted. I didn't get to finish the conversation that we were having, but it occurred to me the reason that we don't like Roman Reigns. We don't believe it.
No.
We don't. His character is supposed to be an unstoppable monster, a juggernaut, if you will.
I will not.
He's playing this character, this monster. We don't believe it.
No, especially because one of the early matches they had at the start of this was him starting to almost cry. It involved him monologuing.
Yeah, I mean that's part of what it is. We look at Braun Strowman and we see a monster.
Yeah.
And when
that man won the tag champs with tag team championships with a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you don't see Braun Strowman looking off in the distance and muttering to himself, trying to do a monologue or crying. And you don't see Braun Strowman blowing gimmick spots like Reigns did with the handcuffs with Heyman.
Right.
Because Braun Strowman is a fucking monster and doesn't need gimmicky handcuff spots.
Right. What we're seeing with Roman Reigns is when we look at him, we see a guy playing a character unconvincingly. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're not on board with it. Now, I say this again, and I feel like I say this every damn time I get behind this mic. God, the story is good. I know you guys don't watch the episode. The story is good. I promise you it is.
And I'll believe that. I just don't believe it when it's in front of my face.
It's the once a month that you come to watch the pay-per-view is when I get let down.
Well, you know what? It's great that they've got it down on television because they keep shitting the bed on pay-per-view.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Well, okay, and again, I'll qualify that as I think they do because Twitter and the rest of the internet seems to be almost solidly behind it.
They are, and it's because they're stupid. They buy the character.
That's fine.
I don't, and nobody else that I watch it with buys it. There's nobody that I know that buys the Roman Reigns character. Nobody bought it when he was face. Nobody buys it when he was heel. And don't get me wrong, I like him as a heel.
Yeah.
This is the best idea they could have come up with.
He's mostly okay as a Samoan mob boss, but I don't. He just doesn't seal the deal, honestly.
No, he doesn't. So anyway, he comes down. He goes for the spear.
And Brian reverses it into the label lock.
Well, I think we call it the yes lock again.
Oh, okay. I remember he took that away because he didn't want people to cheer him anymore.
Right. So now we've got the yes lock again. He's got it on him, but he's been working this match. He's exhausted, and Roman's just straight up grabs his arm and powers out of it. It looked good. It looked good. I liked it. Again, some commentary and some, something would have been nice.
As a spot, it looked great. As a developing story, I was not enjoying it.
No, not at all.
As he proceeds to... No, does he make him He makes him pass out with the.
He makes him pass out with his rear naked choke.
Right.
That he apparently is his finisher now. Taps out, bell rings. He gets up, holds the title up high. Well done, sir. And bam, he gets hit with a spear from Edge. Edge is standing there menacingly with his eyeballs about to pop out of his head, pointing at the Tampa Bay WrestleMania sign.
It's time for sign points.
Yeah.
It's time for sign points.
And that's all we're going to get is sign points. So now Edge has made his decision. So we're going to have Roman Reigns versus Edge at WrestleMania.
I wonder, however, that will end.
Well, I'll be honest, man. It needs to end with Roman going over. I know you guys are going to give me heat for that, but we can't do
As long as he
another
doesn't fuck up the finish.
right. We can't have another part-timer world champion. We just can't do it.
But think about it this way.
Mm-hmm.
If Edge wins, no Money Plane 2.
I want Money Plane 2.
How dare you?
I can't wait to...
And in fairness to Edge, he wouldn't have essentially become a part-timer if he hadn't gotten injured again.
That's very true, too.
That was multiple months that I don't think he did not intend to be out for.
Right. So, as far as the Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan...
Well, I hope you enjoyed what you got, because that was it.
I gave it a 1.
Yeah.
The only reason I gave it a 1 because, like I said, Roman showed me something.
Sure.
And
they need to back off. Now, not every match needs to go, to the time limit, but they need to kind of start backing off we want to show how powerful and brutal this guy is. Let's make this match sub 2 minutes.
Right.
I'm tired of it.
No,
I'm tired of it.
I agree. I'm ready, and honestly, I would be very excited to see Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at Fastlane.
And I get the logic of why conceivably he comes out immediately after the match. He can basically just pick the carcass like a vulture.
Sure.
I got it. Tired of it.
Chris, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
If again, I think we had a little bit of exposition behind it.
You're right.
I think it would have mattered more.
Because at least then I would have immediately known what they're going for instead of slowly realizing and getting mad about it.
Yeah. We need some commentary to explain, hey, he just won. He'll have a match later on this evening. And
no.
Here's Paul Heyman. And he does the thing.
I would have loved to smarmy Paul Heyman coming out and be like, due to scheduling conflicts, the match will have to happen now.
Yeah. Yeah. It is unfortunate, sir, that we could... I'm afraid that we must have the match right now with all apologies.
You could even have brought back the card as subject to change line.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah.
But no, that's not what we got. That's not what we're going to get. So we're going to move on to our next match, which is the triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Defending our title is Bobby Lashley, who honestly has been showing me a lot lately. Yes, I know I have been very hard on Lashley in the past several years.
Yeah.
And he's been looking good. He's been looking great.
Yeah.
As strange as this sounds, the Hurt Business might have been the best thing that happened to him.
Sure.
It's because ever since then he has stepped it up a little.
He has, a group is usually a good way to A, get people more exposure together, and B, cover weaknesses with other people's strengths.
Bam. I.e. The Shield and Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a triple threat match with our dark horse John Morrison. And
got a good feeling about this.
Yeah. And the other challenger, Riddle.
That's it?
Riddle.
That's,
Not Matt. Just
you know,
Riddle.
has anyone tried to scare him out of a match by just shining a bad signal?
No, but they did try to scare him by saying, hey, the cops are coming to hide your weed. It's
Riddle, who inexplicably came out wearing Evil Knievel's jacket.
Yeah. I'll be honest, man. I feel like I say this every podcast, too. I hate him.
You don't like Shoeless Bro?
I don't. You
mean Shoeless Bro Jackson?
Yeah.
There were two.
Oh, he's made that joke before.
Have I?
No,
Oh.
Riddle.
Oh. I wasn't paying attention. I don't watch his stuff.
No, I wish I couldn't. But yeah, he's
The pay-per-view, he was thrust upon me.
You know, the problem is I can only hate him so much because he's the inverse of Roman. Once the bell rings,
Oh, sure.
he is hard to find somebody that's better than him. Now,
Well, they don't let him talk anymore, and it becomes so much better.
yeah. So I was listening to a podcast today, and I hate to quote Jim Cornette, but I'm gonna.
You said something disturbing to me on Sunday, and that was you're just starting to agree more and more with Cornette.
I am starting to agree more and more.
That's a
with
sign of
Cornette.
old, my friend.
They said they don't really get Riddle either, and he said I don't understand. It's like everybody says that he reminds them of Kerry Von Erich, and
No. Based on what? Ginger hair? Okay, sorry.
he said I'm having trouble getting it out. And Cornette says he reminds me of Kerry Von Erich's right leg.
Kerry Von Erich famously lost his right.
Mean, but incredibly funny.
I mean, to me, all his gimmick comes across as is like shoeless wrestling Louis Spicolli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And
I don't like that character.
I don't like the character.
It's cool if other people do. I don't like him.
No, I want to like him because I recognize that the talent is there.
It is.
But damn it, this Broza stuff, I can't do it, man. It's insanely annoying.
I didn't like that shit at its peak. I don't like it now that it's past its prime. And the problem with putting dumb like the bro stuff and stuff like that in your vocabulary ironically, it becomes unironic at some point.
Yeah, it does, and I am guilty of it too. That's the bad thing.
Also, if you
it.
try to branch that character out to almost anything else, it's gonna be he's pigeonholed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what we need. Boy, I'm going to date myself on this one. We need an Alexandra York to come out and make him Matthew Radowski. And boy, I got you on that one, didn't I?
The unnecessarily extra bits of name is when you add those on there.
Let's cut the hair. Let's put him in a business suit. And
God, there would have to be like short segments of vigorous rehabilitation for me to buy it.
Oh yeah, but it's wrestling. We can do this in a matter of weeks.
Sure.
We changed the one-man gang to a very racist thing.
What? The man rediscovered his African roots. That very white man.
In Harlem.
Yes.
By a dumpster fire.
Well, not a fire. There was smoke coming out of it, but not
That's
a
true.
fire.
It wasn't actually fire, but
you leave that jive soul bro be.
That's one of my favorite songs from the Pile Driver album, the Jive Soul Bro. Anyway, we're not getting there. This match, it wasn't a bad match, but once again, confusing.
A little.
The main point of this match, as far as I can tell, is we are going to make Bobby Lashley look like a monster. Now, if that was the point of the match, they succeeded because most of this match was Bobby Lashley beating the hell out of Riddle and Morrison. And Morrison's so damn good. He sells like a champ.
Sure. Yeah, he does.
He's, he's just all up in the air. He reminds me of Ziggler.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And Riddle sells good too. He's great. But the whole point of this was, I think, to make Bobby look like a monster. They have some shenanigans on the outside where John Morrison grabs MVP's crutch.
Oh, yeah.
Goes to hit Bobby. Bobby catches him. Or no, he hit Bobby with it.
Yes.
And, oh, God, now I'm forgetting what happened.
I think they just made him mad, though.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it doesn't matter because the match wasn't that important. Anyway, Riddle's the U.S. champion.
He won somehow. I don't care to remember.
Yeah.
He won that truck grill.
Yeah, he won that ugly-ass belt and without pinning the champion.
Yeah, one of those classics. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, that, and to the point of, they get to... that's why Morrison was there.
Yeah.
So they can keep Lashley looking like a monster, but he doesn't also have to take... he doesn't have to take the loss.
Right. And so they can, we can set him up for later on this evening.
And be like, yeah. Also, Lashley can be like, you didn't actually pin me if he wants to go for the title again.
If he wants to, yeah. But Monday night proved otherwise, that he is not interested.
I kind of figured because you normally make that kind of move when you want to push a guy back up.
Yeah. So what we have now is Riddle is the United States champion.
Yay.
I gave this match a 2.5 merely because this was really the last time that we saw good story in this pay-per-view. Yeah. So I gave it 2.5 stars.
Also, why weren't there any Elimination Chamber for the women's titles or anything?
Well, because...
Well, I know why Sasha was involved in another match, but why not for Asuka?
Well, because Asuka, they don't care about Asuka anymore.
That's depressing.
Asuka is still the Raw Women's Champion.
She is.
And they have done absolutely nothing with her for months now.
To the point where they just had her win the tag titles and run around with those.
Right. And honestly, I keep forgetting that she is the Raw Women's Champion.
Which is a huge disservice to her.
Right. The Raw Women's Champion means nothing anymore. Asuka doesn't mean much.
Which is weird considering how no matter how good SmackDown gets, it's always considered the B show.
Right. Sasha Banks, on the other hand, is leading the charge in the women's division. Somebody explained that to me. But Asuka just hanging back there with her title all alone. Trying to make a bid for the tag team titles that nobody cares about either. So yeah, that's I don't know. All I know is that we had this popcorn match here with
what happened next, Doggz?
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. That amazing tag team that doesn't go together.
Who are tag champs?
Yeah, who are the tag champs? Wrestled the equally amazing team of Bianca Belair and the legit boss Sasha Banks also not a tag team.
No. Isn't Bianca challenging Sasha for her title?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she is. Yeah. So I wonder how that's going to work out.
But they're teaming together tonight.
Yeah. They are.
Curious.
And in no way are they going to have an argument later.
Huh.
Yeah. No way are they going to blame one another for their impending loss.
What an odd and original storyline to pursue. Continue.
Honestly, everybody in this match is at least fair to Midland, except one. I am sick of Nia Jax. Her and her whole comment can take a long walk off a short pier. It's absolutely not working for me. I have tried to be nice about this. I have tried to say, well, the thing about it is she's got a look. Her look is marketable. The juice is not worth the squeeze. You can take it however you want to. She's got to go. I can't anymore.
Was it anything in particular in this match or just in general?
This has been building for a long time. I've been trying to be a nice guy about this, but she's getting worse. The leg drop makes me angry.
That really short leg drop?
Yeah, it's not hard to do a leg drop. It's actually one of the first follow-up moves that you could learn as a wrestler, and it's one of the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen an uglier leg drop. And guys, I was a wrestler, but I never wrestled anyone of particular fame. I wrestled indie guys or less than indie guys, and they all have outperformed Nia Jax on their worst day. I had a guy knock himself out on the turn post, and in his unconscious state wrestled better than Nia Jax. This is a shoot. I'm not kidding. I can't do it with her anymore. I can't.
I think what bothers me about the leg drop in particular, it looks just so short and so quick. There's no time for whoever's taking it to really know what's about to happen until it's on their head.
Yeah. And sadly, I don't even want to talk about this damn thing. Nia and Shayna retain.
They did. I think the thing we talked about during the match was there was a lot of I forgot the name for it again. When it's not a proper tag, it's the
blind tag.
The blind tag. That was practically all Sasha and Bianca did.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and it's not just the women's division. It's the men do it too, and it's not even just WWE.
Which, I mean, at least
AEW is notorious for it.
Yeah, at least in their case, considering that's building up to them facing each other, it's like they're not really a team. That makes a little more sense.
Right.
But Nia and Shayna started doing proper tags, and then they just kind of stuck to blind tags too at some point.
Right. I don't, and again, this is where me and Cornette, I don't know, man, maybe I'm just going to put him on Facebook. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to friend request him. I might as well now. It's, we see eye to eye on this. He can't stand the blind tags either.
I really can't either. Just because like I told you when we were watching, it's like it's a sign of that you are a real team,
Yeah.
and that you are working together. That you are,
a
taking
cohesive unit.
Yeah, exactly. A well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
That you are actively tagging each other, looking for. Like I said, you could easily storyline it away if you had a team that was like, okay, and they're going over strategies, but if we're really in trouble, then just hit me, tag me.
Right.
Then just don't wait for the hand and just hit me, get in there and, stop it.
Yeah, and
Like-
we've seen that before. We were watching before the pay-per-view started. We were watching the British Bulldogs. You just guys, it's just night and day
Yeah.
of the team. They worked as a team. Quick tags in and out, cutting off the ring, keeping people on one side of the ring. And then the heel, uses some underhanded tactic, and then they start quick in and out tags.
Cutting off the ring, putting
Yeah.
the whole. That's what makes the hot tag so great, is when the baby face is finally able to break free enough and get their partner back in.
It's tag team wrestling is not hard. In fact, it's easier if you work with your partner, and
That's the entire point.
nobody except maybe FTR in AEW know how to be a team anymore.
And see, that's the thing, is like that's the thing I really dig about tag team wrestling, is like you are, whether you're face or heel, you're going out there and you are just pumped that you're out there to have this match with your friend,
Right.
with your partner.
And it's just not happening. So Shay Nia go over.
They don't.
They retain their
They
pointless
do.
championship.
In a weird spot where Reggie costs them the match. Reggie costs Sasha and
Oh, that's right.
Bianca
Yeah,
the
tell
match.
us about that.
Reggie tries to convince Sasha to take as a wine or champagne bottle and clock Nia with it, and Sasha's like no, and that distracts her long enough that Nia pins her.
Yeah.
You normal, which I guess is maybe it's a lateral move, but it's a little bit better than the normal. Oh, there's a miscommunication. They cost each other, and now they're mad at each other over that.
Yeah.
But now it's blatantly Reggie's fault.
And I don't understand
So
what we're
where's the
doing here either. Are we doing this just to keep Carmella in the spotlight without her actually being there?
I guess. Because now, despite the fact that they're opponents, now there's less heat between Bianca and Sasha, because it wasn't. I mean, the only thing you can argue was Sasha shouldn't have argued with Reggie as much, but other than that, she was not trying to win underhanded, and Reggie was insisting, so it was continually distracting her.
Right.
And it's nothing Bianca did, so it's like
the whole storyline, it's muddled. It's there's no sense in dirtying up the water. It's not. We had something here for WrestleMania, Bianca and Sasha. We know it's going to happen. We're good with that. So why are we trying to ruin it with all of this nonsense? Now, this match is garbage, but I will give proper credit to the three that are worth a damn in this match. So I gave it a 2.
okay.
And I think I was being extremely generous with that.
I can agree with that.
So now let's move on to our main event. This is something that's so great. 6 matches. And we are there. We are at the main event. It's, what time is it now? 9:00 at least, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So now we have our final Elimination Chamber match for the Raw show.
it's I think it's the Universal.
Yeah. No, this is for the WWE.
WWE, and there's WWE and World, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
WWE.
Or WWE and Universal.
Why?
It's
I'm so tired of this.
Roman Reigns is Universal.
No, he's not.
Drew McIntyre was World.
Okay.
So we have Drew McIntyre actually in this match again. It's moving story along a little bit, showing because Roman didn't do that.
No.
He didn't enter into the Elimination Chamber to defend his title. Drew did because he's the fighting champion.
Yes.
And so we have Drew McIntyre. We have AJ Styles. We have Jeff Hardy, because why not? Kofi Kingston, to see if we can... I get that one, because now we can see if we can't grab some Kofi Mania one more time. Randy Orton makes sense. And Sheamus, because Sheamus just went heel.
Okay. Yeah, these are all former world champions.
Yes. Yes, they are.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm. Former world champions, and this match was not as good as the first one.
No.
So I think we started out with was it Orton and
Damned if I can remember.
no, it was Orton and Hardy, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because I wanted Orton to stomp on balls again.
So they started things out. Back and forth, nothing really exciting goes on. Now, Drew is the third man in. You would have expected him to be one of the last people in, even though we knew Sheamus was going to be the last guy. Because he had already said he already secured his spot on that one. It was a Raw thing that happened.
Okay. I'll trust you. So Drew was third in.
Drew was the third one in, and so he comes in, goes right after Randy, goes after Jeff, and starts lawn darting him into the cage.
That's what you do with Jeff Hardy.
This is another problem. God, I might as well just call this the Jim Cornette experience, because he has something else. I'm a big fan of cage matches, but a cage match without blood is like going out in the rain without an umbrella to me.
I can see it. I mean, cage matches, even if it is something like Elimination Chamber, they're supposed to be grueling.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to show that this is torturous,
Yeah.
even if you're winning.
Yeah. And in this one here in particular, all of these guys were being extremely brutal, as opposed to the first one where the faces, they did do face against face from time to time, but they didn't do anything crippling to the other faces. They did things devastating, to the heels, and the heels vice versa. Mm-hmm. That is not the case in this one. Everybody was trying to end the career of everybody.
Sure. They're really taking that elimination part to heart.
Yeah. So I believe the first elimination comes through with Kofi Kingston, who comes in. And he comes in and bip, bam, boom. He eliminates Randy Orton right off the bat. What the hell?
And was this the point where Omos for AJ just kind of ripped the back of his pod?
Right off. Yeah, it came after that. Yeah.
Knocked out the plexiglass so AJ could circumvent the pod and run inside.
Right. And that's where, again, the water got muddy here. Mm-hmm. Again, because he popped out the back door and then runs through.
Like he was trying to take advantage of something, but I can't remember what it was.
It was confusing.
Yeah.
which, that was this pay-per-view. Sheamus is our last guy to come in. Before Sheamus, AJ comes in. Now, this is another guy that I have been very critical of over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
AJ was on fire.
Yeah, he was.
He was delivering nothing but, he was great.
Yes.
He even, there was a botched spot between him and McIntyre, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was McIntyre, where he went to do the 360 springboard splash, and McIntyre fell way too close to the ropes.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
While he was standing up there, he saw it. He had to hesitate, and he changed what he was going to do, and then did it. Now, he still caught him a little bit, but
very impressive.
Yeah, he was able to catch it almost mid-air and fix what is it? That's, man, as much as smack as I talk about AJ, he really holds up the moniker of the phenomenal one.
Yes, he does.
And tonight Sunday night he proved it.
I think when you give him he's always a good worker, but when you give him something great to work with, he will absolutely shine. Like with the ladder match that he had with Sami, and it's like
that was another great AJ Styles moment.
100%.
When you give him the proper tools, he can work wonders.
Mm-hmm.
So Sheamus, our last guy to come in. I'm trying to think who was our next one. Oh, it was Kofi that got eliminated as soon as Sheamus came in.
Oh yeah.
Pinned Kofi, just hit him with the brogue kick. Let me see. I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah, that comes way later, but the brogue kick into space, not the brogue, the Claymore into space.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Was that Jeff?
I think that was the finisher. That was the end of the match.
That was Oh yeah, that was the AJ is coming off the top rope.
Yes.
And
almost
again could not have been better timed by both.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre just Claymore's almost straight up
knocked his head off.
He adjusted himself so that he was falling back almost to the ground, and he got the Claymore kick out.
Yeah. Just amazed that they hit the ground at the same time. It was nothing short of beautiful.
Are they kind of setting thinking about it? Are they kind of setting up brogue kick versus Claymore?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it seems like it's veering toward.
Well, maybe. I'm not really sure. At first, I thought that, but now I don't know, because now Drew McIntyre gets his pin on AJ Styles, declaring himself the winner of the Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. The champion proves himself again. He has been through hell. Came in at number 3. Handled business through all of these monsters. The speed and agility of Kofi Mania and AJ Styles, the power of Sheamus, and the cunning of Randy Orton, and he beat them all, man. He beat them all.
Randy really was the smartest one, first one out. He was just done for
yeah. And so now he's the winner, man. The cage is lifting, and he's the winner, and he's popping the Thunderdome. The crowd that's not there are cheering for him.
Oh yeah.
And who should come out but Bobby Lashley?
Oh, that's right. Because earlier we saw a segment where Miz was having an in-depth conversation with MVP about something.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, we also saw Bad Bunny make The Miz look like a fool.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
He felt especially embarrassed about that.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anything he can do to redeem himself. Anyway,
So Lashley came out.
Lashley comes out,
He probably just left angry.
and again, Lashley looked great, man. Beat the dog hell out. He puts him in.
Pillar to post, man.
Yeah. It throws him over the barricade, throws him back into the ring, puts him in the Hurt Locker.
Yep.
Just beats him down, and then who comes out?
Drops him like a bad habit, and then The Miz runs out with the briefcase.
Hands the briefcase. This is official. Official. I made up a word. This is an official match now. He can't get out of it now. And even if he did, he's only got 1 month before he loses it anyway, because that contract only goes for a year. So here we go. The match has started. He hits him with a DDT, goes for a 3 count, doesn't get it. Hits him with the skull crushing finale for the 3 count.
He's done it again.
The 2-time, is it 2-time or 3-time? I think it's just twice, right?
I think, I think it's 2-time because people have pointed out the drought between this and the last win, which spawned the Miz girl.
There you go. That's right. Yep. And now we have a new WWE Raw champion, The Miz. I'm not going to tell you that I'm angry about this, because I'm not. It was that night. It was unexpected.
It was.
It was fun. And keeps us guessing. Moving forward, what are we going to do here?
I mean, Miz isn't keeping it.
No, he's definitely a transitional champion.
No, at the same time, good for him, though. He.
So are we going to... This is what I want to know. Are we going to put the belt back on Drew so that he can have a proper WrestleMania moment? Or are we going to go with Bobby Lashley? Or are we going to have a triple threat match with Drew and Bobby and Miz for WrestleMania?
It's a good question. I mean, clearly the idea is here that Bobby does this favor, he gets a title shot. I mean, that has to be what happens. Now, what what follows, I don't know. But
well, I'll give you a little heads up here. What happened on Raw?
Sure.
The Miz is out celebrating. Bobby and MVP comes down and says, "Okay, it's time for you to make good on your promise. You promised him a title shot."
There it is.
And so there's like, "Oh, yeah, not ready. Oh, yeah, you got to give me a couple weeks." And, well, here comes Braun Strowman.
Oh, no.
Who we haven't seen in months.
We saw him at the Rumble.
We did. That's true. That's
a month.
Yeah, okay. But before that, it's been a minute.
Okay.
He comes down and he's like, "I didn't want to burn Braun Strowman's title." And
is that word for word? I didn't.
That's verbatim. Yeah,
you do have the transcript. Okay.
And he says, "Well, you haven't even been around. What makes you deserve a title shot? Braun Strowman title." He's like, "Well, that's a strong point, Boomhauer, but regardless, we got Bobby Lashley over here." And Bobby actually cut a promo. He grabbed the microphone and said, "You need to pay back what you owe." Well done. All right. Good job, Bob. And
sounds like we've all learned a lesson about letting him say more than 20 words.
Yeah. MVP takes the mic back from him and says, "Don't you ever say a goddamn word again." And so
I need to say words to justify my paycheck.
So we said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a match for the main event of Raw. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. The winner of that match is going to get the title shot next week." Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of Braun Strowman.
Oh, boy.
I mean, muscled him. I mean, picking him up and tossing him more than a few times. I mean, just throwing him around the ring. This match was like 6 minutes long, and Braun did the job.
Damn.
I mean, it was... So, yeah, they are pushing Lashley. And honestly, what we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You convinced me. You convinced me. Lashley deserves this shot.
Okay.
He looked... I mean, you know, Braun put him over. He made him look menacing, and there was a couple of spots on Raw, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about Raw. We're supposed to be talking about the pay-per-view, but there's a couple of spots on Raw where Braun was, they were outside, and Braun was trying to do his run around the ring and,
Yeah.
you know, shoulder block him, and he tried to run at him and give him the shoulder block, and Bobby just hopped from the floor up to the apron as he ran right by him.
I forget he can do that sometimes.
Yeah, as he ran right by him into the stairs. It was a cartoonish move. And Bobby did, he just whoop, looked right, and then just jumped right down on top of him and continued to beat the shit out of him.
I mean, it's cartoonish / the most realistic thing to do, which is get out the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was showy about it because you could have just dove back into the ring, but
he looked great Monday. He really, really did. But that was our pay-per-view. The main event match, I gave it a 3.5.
okay.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Could have used work, guys. And I don't know what in the hell we're going to do as far as story goes. Let's talk about what we're going to do here for your best dressed of the evening.
Best dressed. Honestly, I don't know. Nothing's. It's weird to say, but nothing stood out. Nothing especially stood out.
Yeah, I think it's because of. I wonder if it's because there's just no crowd.
I don't know.
They're not even.
I don't know if it's that or if just the pay-per-view just made me feel meh.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
Now I do have one.
I mean, in general, I'll go with Bianca because since she makes her own stuff, that
True.
puts her a cut above most of the people.
Yeah, yeah. See, now I went with Ricochet.
Okay.
Because this is the first time that I've seen. He's got some new trunks.
Nice.
That I hadn't noticed before, and I thought those were kind of cool looking.
Nice.
But you're going with Bianca, huh?
I'll say Bianca.
Okay. So we got Bianca here. What do you have for worst dressed?
Nia. I don't like this motif she's been continuing with. I don't like it.
Right.
Doesn't do her any favors.
Not Bad Bunny? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, his hair could use some work, but other than that, she's worn this style for a little while now.
Yeah.
Just swapping out colors, and I'm not digging it. I'm
no.
not digging it. It's like it's a weird showgirlish kind of pastiche she's wearing, kind of thing.
Wow.
That's the vibe I get. You know, I unflatteringly called it a circus tent before.
You have. No, I agree with you. She's not even trying anymore. Like, forget about the ring work.
And I understand custom clothes are expensive, especially when you're bigger.
Sure, absolutely.
So she's got these and she's gonna wear them for a while. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's got to be something else.
Right.
There's got to be something else.
I mean, see, personally, I would go with some sweatpants and a pajama shirt and go home and watch Raw on television. That's what I would. That's what I want for Nia.
Oh, just to not be
Just
there.
don't be there.
Okay.
Yeah. Those running pants are comfortable, man, especially the ones when you first buy them and they're all soft on you. It's like, come on, don't tell me you don't want to go home and watch Raw and wear those. I'm trying to convince her because I'm pretty sure she listens.
Oh, okay.
She blocked me on Twitter.
She blocked you?
No, I don't use Twitter. Come on.
I'm not surprised. I'm just kind of surprised you don't have it as a badge of honor.
Can you see me trolling any of these guys? I mean, just going, Nia.
I figured that's what the podcast was.
That's exactly what this is.
No, Nia.
I never have to be on Twitter now.
Nia should just get a nice windbreaker suit, tracksuit, and that way,
sure,
you can hear her coming from a mile away. and when you'll hear her before the music, and then you're like, okay, I can get up and get a drink.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like a cowbell. When that might have been.
You could have just said bell. You could have just.
I didn't think about that until the words had already left my mouth. I didn't mean it like. You know what? Forget it. We're just going to move on. David Hensley, save us. What do you have for best performance?
Wow, what a lead in for that. Thank you, Doggz.
You are welcome.
In a rare move for this podcast, I actually have a two-way tie for best. I'm going with Billie Kay, just because she, in my personal opinion, is a comedic genius, and I love this ongoing shtick that she's got.
Absolutely.
And Sami Zayn.
Hell yeah.
Could not agree more. Now, what about God? Sammy he was on fire Sunday. Yeah. I mean, he was lobbing up the cantaloupes, man. It was
and a different kind of comedic genius.
Yeah.
Like Billie Kay has got that over the top like comedy sketch vibe to her, while Sammy's got that overly confident jerk ass attitude going for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love it.
He doesn't miss a beat.
Mm-hmm. He really doesn't. I mean, if you knew anybody that acted that way in the real world, you would hate them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but watching him on television, it's comedy gold, man.
It is.
Yep.
What about worst performance?
Nia Jax.
Without question.
Yeah, I mean, Roman was there, thankfully little. Didn't really have time to put on a bad performance.
True.
Because I fully expected it to go to him, but no. He did the bare minimum, and that kept him off my worst list.
Yeah.
But Nia Jax just...
no talking to himself.
No talking to himself, no monologuing, no crying.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. It was fine.
It was fine.
That is rare praise from David Hensley. We're going to talk about this match on the pay-per-view.
That's saying something, considering at best a lot of your compliments are backhanded.
Yes. Roman Reigns pay-per-view. Two Dogs says, two Meltzers at best. Barnes says, I don't care. He was fine.
It didn't,
David Hensley.
It didn't outright suck.
Oh, man. And for the MVP, now, I kind of got to go with, I want to go with Sammy on this one, but I think instead of Sammy, I'm going with Cesaro.
Yeah.
For the
agree.
MVP of the night. Man, he always looks great. He always performs well, but he was exceptional Sunday night.
I agree.
And, I again, him without a title, he should be head of the company. I think he's got what it takes to be the franchise. I mean, he's good. He's a good-looking dude. All the ladies like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong as an ox. He's fast. He can go to the top rope. He can do all of the lucha flips and dives. and he understands wrestling. I don't know what else you want as a champion. But, that's just my 2 cents. Barnes, what you got anything else there?
No. I'll be honest. It had its ups and downs, but I don't know how to feel about this one.
Yeah, I gave this one a 2.5. Meltzer, the whole pay-per-view.
It was largely unnecessary in this casual fan's opinion.
Oh, just wait until Fastlane.
Yeah, you want to talk about unnecessary? Fastlane's a coming.
Why?
I don't know, Bars. I wish I. Wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall in a writers' meeting with those guys? You gotta figure. I gotta figure out that thought process. How do you get to this?
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, at this point, they need to start rethinking just how many monthly shows they need to put on.
Yeah.
Because the model, which became, pay-per-views, is gone now.
Yeah.
They're mostly just adhering to a schedule that doesn't have to exist anymore.
Right. And I mean, all we really need are the big 4. That's all we need.
Sure.
And I'm questioning Survivor Series, whether or not we need that one. I understand it's tradition, but Survivor Series used to mean something, and now it doesn't.
They don't even really need necessarily to. They need maybe like a mid-month big show, like or outside of the ones that aren't the big 4. Maybe do like a mid-month big show.
Yeah, maybe instead of having 12 pay-per-views, we have 8.
Sure.
And just to kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah,
man, that's not a bad. I'll go along with that.
And you have the places that have the bigger gaps are for the times you want to do bigger builds.
Right. And they used to do this because, well, we have to have a Raw pay-per-view and a Smackdown pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's when they cared about the brand split. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even before then, it was because of how the rise of it in the 90s. It's just like it became a means of competition. It went from 4 a year, then I think it was like maybe up to 6, and then at just one point it was like we're doing one every month.
Right.
And then WCW did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was.
And it's now again, I've used this term a lot this evening. Muddying the waters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. But so now we've got in 2 weeks, I believe we're going to be back here, man, because we have got AEW Revolution.
Yes.
So can't wait for that. I'll probably be on call again too. Seems like I always end up on call whenever we're doing pay-per-views. I don't know why that is. God hates me, I guess. So I don't know. What else you got, man?
No, that's it.
Hensley, what about you, man?
I got nothing. On Long Walk Talks, we're continuing our coverage of the filmography of Kevin Smith. We just released our Mallrats episode last week, and we have come to the conclusion we're going to have to start doing 2 movies a month if we want to get through the View Askew universe by the end of June. So you can look forward to an episode about Chasing Amy and another episode about Dogma coming up pretty soon.
Look forward to that.
And, well, it sounds to me like we got a whole shitload of wrestling podcasts coming up.
Oh, we do.
So we're going to have a lot of original content coming out, which is going to be nice.
The 2-night extravaganza that's going to be WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Long Walk Talks, I got to be honest, I tried to watch Clerks, and
You're banned. You know what you did.
I got about 45 minutes into it, and I'm like, you know what? I can't do this.
Yeah.
So then I decided, you know what? They just did the Mallrats podcast. let me give this a man.
What,
I got 15 minutes
If
into
Clerks
this thing,
didn't hold up for you, I don't know what you were doing trying Mallrats.
and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm bored, but Jesus, we could do better than this. And
This filmography retrospective is going to be very interesting as it chugs along, because doing a year discussing the filmography of Tarantino reinforced how much I love his films. So far, 2 movies in, I'm looking at how I still respect and admire Kevin Smith. But I'm like,
absolutely.
I like Clerks. To me, has held up better than it did for you, but it's still not really great. Mallrats went down
No,
a whole
now-
hell of a lot, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Clerks is still very much a time capsule / character study.
Yeah, I appreciate Clerks for what it is.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest problem when I tried to watch. I was like, this is so dated.
Yeah.
That's anything
Oh, boy.
you need to know
Somehow
about the
Mallrats
90s is just right there in those 2 movies.
It is, because somehow Mallrats is more dated.
Yeah.
It really is.
So as we go along, I'm going to be very interested to see. I think out of all of them, Chasing Amy is going to be the one that really determines like
It
how I
should be
really
interesting.
feel.
It's his most critically well-received one. It's the only one that's gotten a Criterion release.
And
I'll be honest, I hated Chasing Amy.
really,
I hated it. I've seen it once. I have never watched it again because I was like, this is terrible.
well, 24 years after the fact since its release, and God, probably at least 18 since the last time I watched it. This is another one that's either going to be what I remember or it's going to be worse. I don't think I'm going to appreciate it more seeing it again. But I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. That's going to be coming up probably in early March.
I'm really going to need you to stop throwing numbers of years past in my face.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm looking at. I'm gonna listen because I'm just a fan of Long Walk Talks. I'm gonna listen to Chasing Amy. I'm looking forward to Dogma because I still love Dogma.
It's weird. Dogma was all right to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Dogma probably one of his best ones. In my opinion, next to Red State, but even Red State's a little. But that's not View Askew, though, is it?
No.
No.
Technically, no.
No.
I'm not even saying Dogma's bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think the conclusion that we landed on when I was discussing this with Stan is to be part of the View Askew universe, it has to have Jay and Silent Bob.
Pretty much, yeah.
I did like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, and as we'll discuss when we get to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, if having Jay and Silent Bob in a film makes it a View Askew universe film, then all 4 of the Scream films are View Askew universe films.
Ooh.
Because Jay
So
and
is-
Silent Bob cameo as Jay and Silent Bob in Scream 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, also technically, so are a few episodes of Degrassi High.
Yeah, look at this cinematic universe that they have created.
Wow.
Yeah.
And and another side note, how about this is a takeover? Holy God, was that a great episode?
Yeah.
Not
was.
only was it a great episode, it has been by and far our most popular episode of any of the podcasts on this network to date. Wow. Within 48 hours, it had more than 500 listens and views on YouTube alone. And I haven't gotten the stats yet on the downloads and plays from streaming apps, but I was texting with the hosts Gina and Shelby saying, did we blow up and not realize it? Like, what the hell is happening? I didn't pay to advertise it or to boost it or anything. It's just I happened to go and look on my channel and it had over 500 views.
I'm glad it did because number one, that's my favorite. This is a Takeover podcast episode that I've heard thus far. It was fantastic, and I'm glad it blew up. Now we got to hit those chicks up for some sponsorships now.
Well, it's funny looking at the views on YouTube. the number one most listened to is This Is a Takeover, and number two is Long Walk Teeny Talks, which has led me...
Really?
Yeah, which has led me to the opinion that
Me and
you
Barnes
and Chris
are
and
fired.
you, Chris and Stan are fired.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to produce but not say anything, and I'm just going to let Katie, Shelby, and Gina host all of the podcasts.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
They seem to be like good luck charms.
Numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we be lying if we didn't see that coming.
I always knew you were the anchor dragging us down.
Oh, how dare you, sir. Oh, man, I think that's going to do it.
I think so.
Yep.
So, Doggz, if people want to reach out to you online, let's start with, do you actually want people to reach out to you online?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You can hit me up on Instagram. I put some stuff up there. Some of it's wrestling related. I really just get on TikTok and do a quick video and then just send it to Instagram. I don't even. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm just Doggz, TDOGGZ. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's This Is a Work _ spaces. And that's where my bread's buttered. So
Nice. Chris, what about you? Where can people reach out to you online?
Well, nothing good happens on Twitter, but that's where I am at Chris the OK.
Very nice. And if you want to reach out to me personally, you can do that on Instagram at DB Hensley. If you'd like to keep up with us on Facebook, you can search for Long Walk Productions by going to facebook.com/longwalkpro or by searching for Long Walk Podcasts. To see more of our original work, you can go to our website, longwalk.us, or you can look in the show notes to see YouTube links to our YouTube original content channel and to our podcast channel where you can listen to backlogs of our older episodes. And as always, if you enjoy this show or any of the shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on.
all right. And for David Hensley and Chris Barnes, this is David Two Dogs Hayes saying, guys, if you got out of bed today and you had a job to go to and somebody that cares about you when you get home, folks, this match is over and you just won via pinfall. Thank you very much for listening to This Is a Work.
That was a hell of a frog splash, Dogs.